Welcome to the NC Spin After Spin. Additional comments from our panelists just available on our website. We want to ask the panel, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show, but you didn't? Chris?
Well, we talked about the business incentives and the bill that passed the House is now on the way to the Senate that primarily expands the JDIG, the Job Development Investment Grant Program. And you mentioned that film doesn't include film tax credits or the historic preservation tax credit. There was a bill filed to restore the historic preservation tax credit. That has been a priority of Governor McCrory's. He spent the last several weeks traveling around the state. I was surprised that wasn't in the incentive bill. He said now that he knew in advance that it wasn't in there. I think this will be a much tougher sell in the Senate. This might be the most interesting debate. They'll pass some sort of JDIG expansion or replenishment of the funds, but the big battle will be over whether or not to restore the historic preservation credit, because that's one Governor McCrory really wants.
Wow. What do you wish you'd have said that you didn't say, Cash?
I think that there's merit in the argument about school vouchers for private schools. If public tax money is for the express purpose of making sure that there is a constitutional standard to the education that our children get, and yet that money is going to be given to private institutions, I think there's a real question there, and I think the courts are required to look at that question and see, okay, what are the remedies? Now, that doesn't mean that low-income families can't still, and their children, I should say, can't still attend private schools, but I think another mechanism needs to be developed without using public dollars in order to accomplish that.
Phil, what do you wish you'd have said?
I forgot to mention that the Wilmington officials had a news conference recently on the film incentive, and they had the representatives of the film industry, the chamber, the mayor, and so on. And they've given up on getting the film incentive back, but they want to increase the grant money.
From, what is it, $9 million?
It's very little,
larger,
but
yeah.
They want to increase it. So that said to me, they've given up on the incentive or tax credit idea that they're going to try to get the grant.
$37 million last year. John, what do you wish you'd have said?
Tom, I made a few comments about Richard Burr and his prospects in 2016 and how he's positioning himself in the big debate in Washington among the Republicans in the House and the Senate about how to approach President Obama in his last 2 years. Senator Burr gave an interview to a political website a few days ago, and he said that the Republicans had gotten really good at killing things, and now they have to learn how to pass things and send them to the president. And, of course, he could veto it, but they will have established that they have an alternative view. He's thinking of his own health care alternative bill, I believe, but more generally about strategy. The best thing that Richard Burr has going for him right now is the Democratic Party, because they just can't seem to find anybody that has the fire and the belly to run against him. Anthony Fox, who's the former mayor of Charlotte, who's in the Obama cabinet, is basically saying he's not running. Kay Hagan, I hear, is probably not going to run. Janet Cowell, the state treasurer, is probably not going to run. Somebody will run, and there'll be a race. But the Democrats find themselves, I think, surprisingly, without a strong field in 2016 in a race that was going to be competitive.
Well, thanks for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.